Hi guys, and welcome back to another Ask Joe. I just want to say thank you for the guys that have messaged me. I really appreciate the fact that you feel you can come to me. Thank you for that. Anyway, moving on. Today we've got two quite big issues to talk about today, which I feel one of them especially, or both of them, that quite a lot of people might be able to relate to. Anyway, moving on. The first topic, this girl messaged me. Basically, the story is, this girl's been with this guy for 6 years. But she hasn't told her parents because obviously they're Kosovan, and they told her from day that if she was to go against what they say, they'd basically disown her. So she spoke to her partner, and obviously 6 years, you have enough time to, you definitely know that this is the right one. So she basically spoke to him, and he helped her tell her parents. And when she did tell her parents, it's just how she expected the fact that they just said no, this is not happening. So then she thinks the only way that she can make this happen is if she moves out with him. So she moves out with him, and then her parents call her and say like, oh, please come back, please come back. But they also drop the bomb and say to her, it's either us or him. She didn't understand why they just couldn't be happy, because obviously they're just based on such superficial things. And then she went on holiday with her family, and she thought everything was okay, and then her dad said, this is not happening, we'll never accept this. So she had moved back in with them thinking that it's okay, and then he said that. So when they got back to England, she decided to move out again with her boyfriend's parents, boyfriend's family. Then she met up with her sister finally after a while, and her sister started crying, and she said that her sister told her that her dad was planning to find someone to kill her and her boyfriend, to kill his own daughter and his daughter's partner, who his daughter is clearly happy with. So that, people make those comments all the time like dapat mus, but this is genuine, this is real, this ain't no joke no more. She said that he was planning to do that. If any family member found out about him, then that was his plan. She then explained how she doesn't have that relationship with her dad, which is really sad as well, because there's a lot of negativity in the family, like with the people that you want to love the most, they're giving you this negativity. So for you, I'm also happy that you found someone like your partner. I guess he truly makes you happy, so you finally found that peace, which is sad that you couldn't find it with your dad. Let's say maybe with your mum you do have it, but with your dad it's just a shame that you have been through this. So this was all a background story, and to her saying that it's difficult because she has a graduation coming up, but her parents won't come if they know her boyfriend's there. And obviously, Albanian parents, like coming to England, that's what they want for their children to do, to go to uni, to graduate. So this is like a monumental thing in their lives, but also your life. It's like to make my parents proud. Firstly, to make yourself proud, but then it's also to make your parents proud. Like, I've come all this way as an immigrant, and I've got here, so it's such a big day. So obviously you want your parents there just to, I did it, mum and dad, I did it, not even if it's not for you guys, I did it, like I did it. But then you also want your partner there, because for 6 years, if you're graduating now, he's definitely been through it with you, like when you were stressed and whatnot. So you would want both these people, because they're both obviously so proud of you, so you want them both in the same place to celebrate with you. The fact that her dad said that this is what he would do to them just ruins the whole situation. It ruins the whole mood, you know? So then she says basically, what can she do? Because obviously she wants both from there. So my advice to you is that if you don't invite one side, you're going to regret it. So if you don't invite your parents and you invite him, somewhere down the line you might regret it. And if you don't invite him, you're definitely going to regret it, because if you're spending the rest of your life with him, like I feel like no matter how perfect your relationship might be, the fact that he couldn't come, he might have a little bit of resent within him, that, oh, I couldn't come because of your parents. It might not be towards you, it's towards them, but it's just that kind of like negativity that you don't know what in your relationship, because a little tiny bit of negativity just builds up over time. So that is definitely not what you want. They both need to be there. So my suggestion is, I mean, they must clearly know what he looks like. I was going to suggest buy different tickets, sit in different areas of the auditorium. Or worst comes to worst, what you could do is, there's a lot of unis that will host the main event, and for people that don't have tickets, they would have like a side room where they're showing the graduation. So if anything, like if worst comes to worst, you could put one people in there, because I don't know, being in the same room somehow, especially people that are looking for it, they will find each other, they will see each other, and one party is going to get angry. So to avoid that completely, get them in different rooms. So one pair, so your parents could be at the actual ceremony, and your partner and his family, because you can bring loads of people when they come to see this little theatre bit, they can come see. And to be honest, it's the same thing. Like, they will see your face, they get to see you happy, that's it. Because when you go to the graduation, you don't sit with your family, you don't get to share anything, legit. They see you walk on stage, you can't even see them, you're just waving to some next crowd trying to look for them, that's it. Like, you don't get to share that. It's not until after the graduation that you'll be like, oh, did you see me? And they're like, yeah. So whether you see it live at the actual auditorium, or you see it like in a spare room, whatever, because they must have spare rooms to search that. Whether you watch it in a spare room with a big TV, they have a big TV basically, it's really good. It's the same thing, but at least they know they both were there. Once the ceremony is over, they make you guys leave first and the family leave afterwards. So what you could do, obviously would have come with your parents. So what you could do is, you might have not even seen them up until this point. So what you could do is, once you leave your ceremony, you could go find them, have a little bit of time with them. The fact that he was there and he gets to see you, go with him with your gown, because you get to take a gown, take some pictures with him, share that moment with them. The things you look back on isn't, oh, I saw you, I didn't see you, it's the pictures. So make sure you take some pictures with him, even if it's just in that room. The fact that you've got pictures together of that, your special day, is important. And with his family, if he comes with his family. And then what you could do is have like a meal with them another day, because obviously today, the graduation day, you're not going to be able to go back and forth. So this is your opportunity where you can go back. So you have your ceremony, your parents watch, your partner and his family will be in a side room. You come off the stage and do all your stuff, and then when everyone leaves, they're clapping. They make you guys leave, find him, spend some time with him, and then explain. Obviously, you would explain before the fact that this won't be a long thing, it will just be a quick thing. Take those pictures, because they're the things you're going to look back at. And then I guess they can leave, you can have like a celebration meal, another day with them, and then go back to your parents and then enjoy that day with them. And that way you get the best of both sides. They both get to be there, they both get to see you. Forget the stage, they get to see you in your whole hat and thing, which is, it just feels good, you know? And it feels good to take those pictures and be like, this is me, because you look back at it and you think, like, I feel like graduation was quite an anticlimax. I don't know if that's just because we had our graduation so long after. Like, we finished uni in May, and then our graduation was in October, November. It was in November. So I don't know if it was anticlimactic because of that. But I feel like the biggest thing of the graduation is wearing that outfit and taking those pictures that you can look back on. Advice as a whole, clearly, if this is the person for you, then you have to go for that. I feel like you need to get away together and then just start planning your life together. You are for sure that this is the person for you. If you listen to your parents and you get rid of him, no matter who they find, you're never gonna like him, because there's no reason for you to break up with this guy, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way out. If you leave him to make your parents happy, you're never gonna be happy. Whereas if you stay with him, your parents are gonna be happy. So take time to get over things or to adjust to things. So obviously in their mind they've been like, no. So maybe in years, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, eventually they might get over it. You might never have that relationship with your dad, but you said that your mum's still quite accepting, so I'm guessing it's what he's saying to her that kind of influences her attitude. So maybe having that distance, if you moved away with him, you would be as close in proximity, but you can still FaceTime her. They'll start to realise what they've done to themselves, like they've pushed their daughter away. And if he never sees that, at least your mum will see that, and you can still have that relationship down the line. You should take things one step at a time. So graduation, get them both there. After that, you're going to start a job, start thinking about like living together, all that kind of stuff. But live away from his parents. If you decide to live together, live away from his parents as well, and your parents. Somewhere just you two, your life. Not anyone else's, no one else's opinion and influences and stuff. You decide what's best for you. Second conversation was from a guy this time, and basically he was saying that his parents have the old kind of mindset where your ultimate goal in life is to get married, have kids, and obviously they're pressurizing him to get on with it. Come on, find your wife kind of thing. He says it's not like that he doesn't want to. He wants to find love, but he feels like his past relationship has affected him in the sense that girls have cheated on him, so it's affected his perception on relationships. So it's quite a negative thing. Like, no matter how much you might want to find someone or want to find love, these negative things push you back a little bit, or just make you a little bit more reserved, you know, makes you a bit more cautious, that anyone that does approach and appears too nice or too perfect, you're a bit like, wait a minute, I don't know. Or it might push you to a point where it's like, do you know what, I just don't want a relationship, I don't want to get into that. Parents keep asking him, especially his mum keeps saying like, have you found a new set, have you found a new set? And I feel like that's quite pressurizing, because it feels like you want to make your parents happy and proud, and you feel like because they keep asking and you can't fulfill that for them, you feel disappointed. Like you feel like they feel disappointed in you, and you feel guilty. It's just like, oh my god. The thing is, it's not always your parents that's putting this pressure on them. It's other people putting the pressure on your parents, and then they put it on you. So it's like they're saying, oh, my son got married, my son's getting engaged, and they're like, when's your son getting married? And it's like, they're probably defending you and be like, no, he's studying, or he doesn't want that right now, he's thinking about his life. But then deep down, they're like, oh my god, is he late? Is he ever not going to get married? Which is what he says. It feels like his mum's scared that he's going to end up alone. So they kind of get worried, and then they kind of put that worry onto you, and then you kind of feel bad because you worry like, oh my god, is this going to really be me? And you're like, oh my god, I feel bad because am I not satisfying my parents? There's a lot of, it's like a snowball effect. So people are putting pressure on them, and then they're worrying, and then they're putting that pressure and worry onto you, and you're putting pressure on yourself and you're worrying. He then goes on to say how he wants his mum to understand. How can he make his mum understand that that's not what he wants right now? He wants to focus on football and education and just finding himself before he finds an also, which is what you should do. Because like I said in the other video, you can't expect someone to come into your life when you don't have yourself ready yet. So, and you will ruin yourself like that. Like the relationship will be ruined, so you're ruining someone else's life, but you're also ruining your life because you're putting so much pressure on yourself to be something that you're not right now. So, my advice to you is, you see how you're saying, oh, I want to do this, and find myself. Stick to that. Give yourself goals and stick to that. You can't really change. I mean, you could have that conversation with your mum and be like, listen, mum, which I'm sure you already have. Listen, mum, that's not what I want to focus this and this and this. I feel like, no, despite how many times you may say this, if she keeps saying that to you, if she's already said that to you a lot of times, she'll keep saying it because, like I said, she might be getting that pressure from someone else. So she's going to just naturally say it, and maybe she thinks that if she keeps mentioning it to you, you're going to go out your way, because she might think that you just don't want to find someone, as in like you're struggling to find someone. So she just, or maybe you're forgetting that you should find someone. You can't exactly stop her from saying it, but you just need to speak to yourself and be like, okay, she just doesn't understand, and make sure you don't fall for it. Don't be like, no matter how much pressure has been put into you, as in them keep saying you need to find Nulsa, you need to find Nulsa, just realize that first of all, you're young. He's 21, you're young. Nowadays people getting married at 30, men are getting married at 30. Your time will come, like the right person will come into your life, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 5 years, whether it's in 10 years. Your time will come, you're never too late. I'm sure you've seen with other people's lives, basically, people doing what you want to do. You feel like you're behind, it's just not your time right now. You've got other things to do, like you said. You have to bear in mind that you will be that person one time too, and so other people look at you and be like, I wish I had what he had, do you know what I mean? So don't worry about that. Just try and focus on you, and remember to think, this is what I'm doing. Like, tell yourself over. Like, when you feel like that, sometimes when you think, oh my god, am I too late? Just think, no, I'm not too late. Like, you need to just talk to yourself and tell yourself, I'm not too late, I need to do this. Once you do that, I need to do this. So set yourself goals, clear goals, even if you don't write them down, like clear goals where you want to achieve. And once you achieve those, then I guess you can start looking. But even, I don't think you should stop looking just because you don't want to find someone. Me personally, I feel like I'm not in a point, I would want a relationship, but I don't feel like I have everything in place of what I want to do. You've got to bear in mind, some relationships can feel restricting because you still have a little bit more exploring to do. So I feel like sometimes, especially with Albanians, you have to be at a level that if you start changing, they're going to be like, well, this is not the person you were before, so I don't accept it, do you know what I mean? Whereas if you've already established what you want to be, they can't come around and be like, this wasn't the person you are. You can turn around and be like, this is the person I am, you knew this from day one, do you know what I mean? So to avoid all these kind of problems, you definitely need to find yourself before you seek a relationship. You just need to do what is best for you. Your time will come, and none of this right person, wrong timing, that's a load of BS. If it's the right person, they will come at the right time, okay? Speak to your mother and say, mother, this is the situation, I don't want that right now, this is what I want to do. But then bear in mind that she might not listen to that. Like, she might take it in, but just because she's so used to saying it, it's just naturally just gonna come out, and you can't. It's like a habit. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't just stop a habit just like that. She's gonna keep saying it. You might not mean it to upset you. She will keep saying it because it's just naturally comes out. And that is the end of episode 2 of Ask Jo. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said in the previous video, if you want to ask me any questions or tell me your problems and want my opinion, feel free to message me on Twitter and Insta DMs. See you in the next episode.